Greetings, everybody. The Sumter Film Critic here, and welcome to another edition of Izzy Cinematic Escape on YouTube. Today's review is based off the 2021 live-action animated hybrid film Tom and Jerry, featuring the iconic animated cat and mouse duo who have found themselves in New York City, and all these different hysterical hijinks start coming forth whenever these two find a way to, I guess, be in the same vicinity as one another, and they start torturing and one-upping one another, or sometimes even even the best case scenario, Tom and Jerry find a way to coexist and even live amongst each other in harmony. This film is based obviously off the iconic animated duo of Jerry the Mouse and Tom the Cat, and I grew up watching these cartoons as a kid, and I have always loved the Tom and Jerry cartoons, whether it was the animated shorts or even the animated films. It's a cartoon that is very near and dear to me, and will always cherish the importance of how they managed to provide this sense of innocence and pure escapism within the confines of their animated shorts, even in the films. Needless to say, the film stars Chloe Grace Moretz and Michael Pena and Rob Delaney, and in actuality, the film is very simple. It's one of those simplistic type of films where it's not deep. It's nothing that is going to make you question the philosophical nature of life. It is simply all about having fun for about 1 hour and 30 minutes, and it is filled with a lot of references to popular culture and film and other animated aspects. And I just found really just what I enjoyed the most about this film from a critic perspective. Excuse me. It's just how you could tell it was all about the actors and the actresses simply just having fun with the concept. It wasn't simply about trying to take it too seriously. It's nothing that you go in there and you're expecting something more. It's simply, it is what it is. Something that you could watch with your kids, or even something that you could watch yourself. If you were just simply looking for 1 hour, 30 minutes to kill, you just turn your brain off. And I think also what makes it that much more special for me as someone who grew up watching these cartoons and even watching films that have a similar concept. It's one of those type of films where you sit back and you watch it, and you don't necessarily, I don't want to say you don't feel bored, because I mean, in actuality, you never feel bored with the concept. It's simply just one of those type of stories where you allow yourself to have fun with it as well. And another cool thing that I thought was really amusing and yet very interesting at the same time, how they managed to incorporate the traditional elements of the old school animation while merging it with the live action. I loved how they, almost as if they decided to make it within I guess almost in a way it's like a shared universe, because you have Tom and Jerry and you have all cartoons who are living amongst the human population. And almost in actuality, it reminded me a lot of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is also another classic film, and I watched that last night. It's almost like the modern day version of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. While you can't necessarily say that, I can't put Tom and Jerry onto the same category as Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because I mean, obviously, while they share similar elements, the confines of the film and the quality of the film are two different mediums, and you can't really necessarily compare anything with Roger Rabbit, because Roger Rabbit will always remain a classic and probably one of the greatest films of all time, in my opinion. But Tom and Jerry, I just loved how they managed to have the cartoon world, the animated world, live amongst the living human community, and it wasn't as if that the humans were afraid of them. It was just accepted it as, oh, we're living with cartoons now, and that's what I thought that was awesome. And with the whole shared universe thing, it reminded me of how there's a lot of, as I mentioned, there's a lot of cool Easter eggs in the film. And there's one scene, I don't want to spoil it, because I always want to make sure that my reviews are spoiler free. But there's a moment in the film where you see a very memorable cartoon character who shows up, and to give a little minor detail spoiler, he's wearing, it's an obvious reference to Silence of the Lambs and Hannibal Lecter, but he's wearing the Hannibal Lecter getup in this while he's confined in the cage, and it's just, when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, really? I cannot believe that they included him in this movie. But either way, it's just one of those great moments, and I hope is at some point, depending on the success of this film, that perhaps they will actually find a way to bridge this universe into other cinematic universes in order to really, I guess, expand it in a way to where all bets are off. Anything and everything goes. Chloe Grace Moretz, while a great actress, you could just tell that she was just having a great time with the part, and she just plays the oblivious, naive, very hip, up to date, technologically savvy character who just is simply trying to find her way, and she does a great job as playing this talented young con artist, and she's just charming overall, and she's a great actress in general. Michael Pena, I mean, I love anything Michael Pena is involved in, but unfortunately, whenever I see him now, I just think of Lewis from Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp. Great actor too, but he just, everything he touches turns gold, and he just does a great job with this character as someone who's immensely dedicated to his job. And the film is, as I mentioned before, is very simple. You have Tom and Jerry who find themselves in New York City, and you have Jerry who finds his way into this extravagant hotel that's going to host this wealthy socialite wedding event, and word gets out that a mouse is in the establishment, and they use Tom to try to get him out. And that's basically the premise of the film. You have Tom and Jerry who are finding ways to, I guess, indirectly ruin the wedding event of New York City. Then you have the hotel trying to get rid of the mouse. Then you have this extravagant wedding that's attempted to take place while it's also focusing on them. It's simply just one of those type of films where you just go in there and you watch it, and you spend 1 hour 30 minutes of your time, and you just have a great time. Just an all-around great experience, and I did enjoy Tom and Jerry. I thought it was wonderful. I thought it was fun. I thought it was exciting. Just very reminiscent of my childhood watching these cartoons growing up. I do recommend it. I absolutely recommend it. I don't believe you'll be disappointed. Everything about it is just what I found immensely enjoyable. And I sincerely hope that you guys do get it. Everyone who watches this review or has read other reviews or watched other reviews, I hope you guys have a great time watching it. And that is my review of Tom and Jerry. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up, a 5 out of 5, and you'll be hearing from me again. Take care and peace out.